Hello, I'm APX Toycat, and welcome back to another Minecraft update news video. Today I have some incredibly exciting news to share with you all because 1.19.70 betas have officially started. This is a great time to do it because this week was when we got our first Java snapshot with a new 1.20 feature that was unannounced, the armor trimming. And so if you're curious about what armor trimming looks like on Bedrock, well then it looks like this. Except of course that is nothing because they haven't added brand new 1.20 features to Bedrock. Instead what they've done is focused on parity and bug fixes, and my god are these parity changes actually needed. This is a change that came to Java 4 years ago, but now is on Bedrock, the ability to sneak under 1.5 block high gaps. It seems incredible to me, it seems fake, it doesn't look like it should really happen, but you can now do that. There's a whole bunch of weird things relating to that, as well as other changes and bug fixes, which as soon as you'll see, you'll question how they even existed in the first place, but you'll be very glad that they fixed them, as well as a whole bunch of others that you probably have never heard of. This is the 1.19.70 beta, the first proper Bedrock beta of the year, and I'm going to be showing you around it in today's video. You can subscribe if you want to see more of these, by the way, because this is the latest and greatest place to hear about Minecraft news, including, like I said, 1.5 block high gaps. Right now, the Minecraft character on Bedrock is 2 blocks high. It's actually 1.8, but just call it 2 blocks high, which means you can go under 2 block high gaps. As you can see right here, this is me, this is the ceiling. I have a little bit of space to jump, but like not really that much, right? And so this is the incredibly exciting reality we have right now. However, after this update, you'll be able to shrink your player down by crouching. Right now, you can crouch in Minecraft, but it's not going to do you very much good. After this update, crouching will actually be very useful, because let's say you have a gap like this. So 2 blocks, right now, you could jump in a gap like this quite easily, but now, after this update, you'll be able to jump into gaps like this by crouching your way into them, which is pretty incredible to be able to say. Did you see what I just did there? I'm now stuck in this area where I can only sneak. It's really bizarre, but it leads to lots of new weird possibilities, lots of which they specifically mention in this update. By the way, here's a fun one. Because I'm crouching and I can only crouch because it's 1.5 blocks, I'm actually trapped up here. I can't like get myself out of here. I can't do much besides continuously jump my way out. But here's another weird one, right? Minecraft has had crawling in it for quite some time. It's an unintentional behavior, but because you can swim into 1 block high gaps and then the water can run out, you can actually crawl in Minecraft and it looks a lot like you're swimming. I mean, mostly because of the arms, but in first person it just looks like you're mining, and you can do this just great in first person. It's wonderful, it's weird, it's very strange, but although we have crawling already and we have walking, we don't really have a transition state in between. Minecraft sneaking being 1.5 blocks means you can do things like swim into a gap and then you can stand up, but you'll be forced to crouch while you're there. It's very hard for me to show off apparently. This is what it looks like. You just imagine this looks like something. Okay, look at the great camera angles I have. High production. Wait, can you see that? You can see through the gap of the block above there, right? Yeah, look at that. There's no block above me. I am inside the block now, and so I can see above it. That is an interesting bug. There's a lot of bugs they mentioned they will be fixing with this, but it is an incredibly cool parity change that I literally was using in my Java Edition stream yesterday, and I didn't even know that was a thing. Just like, oh yeah, if you want to stop mobs getting to you, go into a 1.5 block high gap, just like this, and you'll be able to guarantee that basically no mob can come after you, which is great, and then you can stand up over here and kill them. That is a really cool change, and I don't even know where I'm going to use it. I just think it's incredible because I just heard of it right now, honestly. You could also use this with stairs, for example, so you could have like stairs like this, and now we can climb under these stairs right here, and then if we wanted to, we could do something wacky like put stairs over there, and so we can make ourselves a little tunnel if we really want. Isn't that strange and odd, and doesn't this feel incorrect? If it does, well then you've been playing Bedrock too long, like myself apparently. Speaking of playing Bedrock too long, this update also changed the way that mob heads on note blocks work. So you might know that you can trigger a note block if it's got a creeper on it, and wow, it sounds like a creeper, right? If you trigger one for zombie, sounds like a zombie. However, the drop-off for these sounds has been horrendous on Bedrock. It's not been, useful at all. They've made it linear in this update, so here is my automatic noise generator. As you can see, we just have a bunch of redstone repeaters, and it makes a zombie noise, a creeper noise, then a zombie noise, then a creeper noise, etc, right? So now if we go further and further away, it's not going to get useless the moment we get pretty, like this distance from it. We can still hear the zombie as if the zombie was over there. Maybe it sounds a little bit louder. Like, honestly, I think if a zombie was over there, I wouldn't hear him, but I can hear him from all the way over here now, and I think that's actually pretty cool. I think that's a really great change. Another great change that you're gonna love if you're a redstone player, and let's be honest, we're all redstone players in the sense of the fact that we're all being played by redstone, but yeah, the fact is, if we have, say, an enchantment table, and it used to be that you had to have, so again, they're making it now so the player can go under half block high gaps. That's wonderful. But previously, hoppers could only get things from half block above it or less. And it's meant to be a full block or less, which means that partial blocks between half a block and a full block, like say the enchantment table or mud or soul sand, were not able to collect. You weren't able to collect hopper stuff through them, but that has now changed. Now, if you want to, here are all my stairs. I'm throwing them into the book, and the book is absorbing them. But obviously, what's actually happening is the hopper is absorbing from underneath, and here are all of my stairs back and ready to be used just wonderfully. Speaking of being ready to use just wonderfully, here is something that has bugged me from the end of time till now. I have to get this off my chest. It is so dumb that the way bamboo works right now, right? Also, is this going to grow? I don't know if it will. Let's just keep trying. Apparently, bone milling the bamboo is making it lose water. So, okay, let me show you the dumbest thing. When you grow, right now, when you grow bamboo, right? What happens? A big bamboo tree will appear out of nowhere. Wow, that's what we're all used to. However, have you ever chopped down a bamboo tree? Statistically, I hope most of you have. But if you haven't, on my super flat world, a really big problem is you chop down the tree, but the leaves just remain there regardless. This has been the most frustrating bug to see. Okay, we're gonna have to stack ourselves up. You know, chopping down trees, it's what you do at the start of a Minecraft world and the middle of a video where you're showing off a new beta and its features. Apparently, that's how this one works. But as you can see, okay, so there's still a couple more mangrove blocks to destroy here. Once we chop down all of the logs, now the tree will actually start disintegrating. Okay, there's one over there we've got to get our hands on. I think that's the log. There we go. You see that? The mangrove tree is now actually disintegrating like it's a tree. Again, this sounds like a bug that you're like, well, that can't really be a thing, right, Toy Cat? Yes, it really was a thing. The leaves wouldn't go away. And, you know, that's a 1.19 feature they are fixing in 1.19.70. Just to clarify here, because I think we should talk about update names before we talk about the other weird bugs, one of which relates to the dragon, and I've always assumed was just the only way they can make it happen, but they did a really cool gameplay fix, which is hopefully going to mean some good things. But before we talk about that, this is 1.19.70, and that doesn't mean that it's going to be a bug fix for 1.19 necessarily, but instead it's where they're adding lots of features that are intended for 1.20, and so the fact that we're getting a lot of Java features that aren't directly making their way to Bedrock straight afterwards, or even better, this, you know, armor trimming could have come to a Bedrock beta first, the fact that that's happening and they're working on Java parity either means that they have no clue how it's all going to work and Java's going to delay itself at Bedrock, or much more likely that they have this spare time and capacity in the Bedrock team, maybe because they've got a bigger bug fixing department. I mean, they need it, right? But like maybe whatever it is, it's leading to these small changes being made, and they are very small individually. Like, yeah, sneaking under 1.5 block high gaps, I mean, by itself doesn't make a huge difference, but added all together, fixing these trees, fixing all these bugs does make the game a little bit better. Because before we talk about the Ender Dragon bug, just something I was fixing at the same time, something I decided to test at the same time, because it shocked me that it was on the changelog, is bells on, also, I should probably turn off my noise generator, huh? Let's go do that. Let's stop these weird noises, which you can very well hear, right? Wow, isn't parity cool? But yeah, if we just go over here real quick. This is odd that this worked this way, but if you had previously a bell and it was connected to two sides, just like, well, not like that one. If you have a bell and it's connected to two sides like this, then you break one of the sides. What would happen is the bell... Whoa, okay, that was not what I was expecting to happen. What would happen is the bell would fall off because it wasn't connected to one of its sides anymore. Now it just unconnects and reconnects to the other side. This is actually really strange when you think about it. When you place a bell, it kind of like goes to the blocks because you place it with the right level of stick. But why is it that sometimes a bell has a stick and sometimes it has two little stone like, it's kind of strange when you think about it. If it's hanging from a block, like we'll do right here, if you have a hanging bell, then the bell doesn't need any of that stick, and so that's very odd. Where do all these extra ingredients go in the bell when you're not placing them down? But the more confusing thing is the fact that, yeah, oh, that was very odd. The more confusing fact is that now they fixed the bug of bells falling apart when you place one next to them, but now instead they'll break if you have an extra one placed there. Also, placing a bell underneath another bell, I can't work out why this is a bug, but unless one of the bells is freestanding, it will break that way. Also, here's another bug, right? These bells, if I place this middle bell, it works on both sides, but these bells are both acting like they're only on the left side. I could use a wooden pickaxe, because apparently that's all I've got right now, to show you this one. See, I removed that wooden bell, and it made this one think it's on one side only. So they've made a bug fix that has introduced more bugs, which, you know, that's bound to happen in Minecraft occasionally, but it's also just, it's very odd, right? We can all agree that's not how things should be. Also, speaking of how things shouldn't be, Why does the bell on the bell break the bell? Does anyone know? Speaking of things you might not know, okay, this is the most shocking bug that Minecraft's had forever that I wouldn't even call a bug. I would say they've actually made a genuine improvement, and that is horses. That's right, you can now breed 2 horses together and you'll get a random offspring rather than right now where it doesn't seem to work anyway. But also they've changed the Ender Dragon. So the Ender Dragon has the same simulation distance and visual render distance as other mobs. And to prove to you why that is weird for other mobs already, let me show you a camel. Because can you see? There's a camel. Or rather, let me not show you the camel, because as the camel walks away, oh, he's gone. And he's back. And he's gone, and he's back. And honestly, it's a bit jarring to have mobs, render away when they're clearly visible. But this is a fact of Minecraft Bedrock. One of the ways to keep the game running great with phones where they have low battery life is by using little tricks like this, where high intensity calculations just aren't being performed because you can't see the mob, so you don't need to know what it's doing. Even though apparently he's still doing things over there. Like, he will eventually walk back into my simulation distance. But anyway, yeah, so basically, this is what they do with lots of mobs, but they did it with the Ender Dragon, which leads to the fight looking so jarring because the dragon just appears and disappears almost seemingly at random. It's because he gets 4 chunks or more away from you. And so they fixed it now, and the dragon is visible from all distances, which is, or rather from a further distance, which is great. But I would like to point out, this isn't just my eye, this is the community's eye. A lot of people have had this exact same anger of like, okay, now we've proven there can be exceptions to the simulation distance rule. I mean, those leaves are an exception, that mountain's an exception. Minecraft can show you things that aren't being, like simulated necessarily, or they can simulate things that aren't in the simulation distance if it's necessary. I think the most necessary one has to be a beacon. For real, one of the most, I don't want to be too dramatic about this one, but actually, of course I want to be dramatic. Beacons suck so hard in Minecraft right now. Minecraft Bedrock right now. The hardest item to get, the latest game item Minecraft has, arguably, until the Netherite upgrade, one of the latest game items that Minecraft has is not visible from more than 4 chunks away. And, actually, rather than complaining about it from atop my camel, let me show you in my Let's Play world itself. So this is my Let's Play world house. It's the world's most beautiful house that's ever been made by anyone. And right next to it is a mega beacon that takes up basically the same amount of space as the house. Like, just bear in mind the size of these 2 things, right? So this is a huge undertaking to make a mega beacon, and it's basically the end goal of many Minecraft players, you could say. And so here's the thing about it, you get mega beacon effects, and obviously the effects can't last forever, but the beacon itself is meant to be this gateway to the sky. But here's what happens when you get more than 4 chunks away from it, because, oh wow, isn't that beacon pretty? Oh, it sure is nice to look at, and it's gone. I don't know why it has to be such a ridiculously tough, but what is the point of a beacon that makes you have it's like you're literally a blind bat. You are an old man with cataracts and no way to do eye surgery on yourself, only when it comes to the beacon. I can see things I shouldn't be able to see because the beacon should be in the way, like that pumpkin, there's a jack-o'-lantern on my house. Why can I see the jack-o'-lantern's light, but not the beacon's light? It's an inconsistency in any sense of the word in Minecraft that's only there because of the simulation distance. If we're fixing the dragon, which is great, by the way, I do have to say, I didn't know they could have exceptions to the simulation distance rule, but the biggest contender for other exceptions should be the beacon. The beacon is a late game item. Okay, so here's another one, right? I have a beacon representing the 0, point in my world. You can see there's a little structure over there where it's housed. And so when do you think I'll be able to see that beacon, which is, again, meant to, I literally just use it as a way to mark 0. And so being able to see it from further away would be real cool. But except, of course, this is Minecraft Bedrock. We can't even see it from here. We can't even see it from... Actually, is it even active? I might have turned it off because you can't see it from very far, actually. Yeah, that's... Okay, no. Whoa, I was sure I turned it off. We have to get that close to it before it activates. Look how close we are. Why can I not see my beacon? I'm literally 2 chunks away from this thing. So this is 0, as you can see. There's a creeper down there still. I'm going to ignore that creeper for a little bit longer. And this is when I get 2 chunks away from it. I don't know why it's 2 chunks here. Yeah, 36 blocks. Oh, that's even weirder. Like, it comes back and then it goes away. Whatever, two chunks away from this thing. Why? Why is it 2 chunks of render distance? What sort of eye disease does Steve have? I really would love to know. The lore behind why Minecraft players cannot see more than 2 chunks ahead of them. It seems so illogical for something that's meant to be a beacon, lighting into the sky. And so that's my big feedback for this week. If we have the exception, I think the beacon might be just as, if not more important than the dragon. Speaking of things that are just as, if not more important than the dragon, this has been the rough overview of this week's snapshot. There are more bugs. There are always interesting, like, bugs that I like to go through, and then there's ones where I'm like, well, we could go through these, but maybe not so much. Let me know if you think we should go through more of these in the future, because I am, I feel like it might be fun to put some more effort into these worlds each week to actually show you the betas and what's going on. Because, yeah, I know a lot of people keep up with the snapshot news, but they're less familiar with Bedrock betas, and so I hope that this series is a good way to show you all of those. Speaking of showing you things, I also am going to be continuing my quest to get all the armor trims. I'm playing Minecraft Medium Salmon Edition. I know. What's wrong with them? Why don't they just pick... But I'm playing the edition with the weirdly sized salmon, and if you want to watch me play that and try and get the last 8 armor trims, because I got 3 after 3 hours. Okay, it's not going great, but I am on my way to a stronghold, so if you want to see it, then make sure to tune in tonight just after this video, or maybe during this video, I don't even know. Come check it out, but also come check out the rest of this channel, because I make videos every day, and you can subscribe to see them. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, because I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you better than you can see this beacon, assuming you have notifications turned on. So see you around. Goodbye.